Hello guys, Dylan here, and I know that you've probably seen this video go up a few times over. Well, I assure you that this time is different, and hopefully this time the video will stay up. I have added a whole lot of new stuff to this video, that being that I added in a whole lot of evidence that was given to me after the original publication of my first video. I added in all of the audio leaks that I was uploading individually, and there's some more bonus stuff, like an interview from Jesse's ex, Killian. So hopefully you guys will see some worth in this video, and you will understand why I've spent a whole week calling out Jesse Pajamas, because I do believe that he's a threat, I do believe that he's a pedophile, and I do believe that he needs to be talked about, because I don't want people forgetting that this did happen, and people like this shouldn't be allowed near children. So hopefully you guys are ready for some more info today on DHT. First thing I want to do is talk about what is a pedophile. Now I know that sounds really fucking dumb, but there are some people from my last video that didn't understand if Jesse really was a pedophile. Did he really break the law? Is he going to get in trouble? Well, let's handle one thing at a time. First of all, with Candy, Jesse's ex, it is the only case that I can 100% confirm Jesse fucked a minor. He even admitted himself that he fucked a minor. He knew that Candy was underage when she was 15. He chose to continue talking to her and have sex with her at 16. We have proof of his plane tickets. We have proof of his residence there, that being a picture of him with Candy. We even have calls, and we have screenshots of him admitting that he did visit Candy and had sex with her. This is not a thing to question. This is just fact. So, for those of you guys who are curious, she was 16. And Jesse, at the time, was 25. If we minus those two numbers, we will find out that the age difference between the two is 9. Now, we looked up a bunch of different age of consent laws, just so everyone would know that this is wrong. First, we looked up New York's age of consent law, which New York said that their minimum is 17. Then we looked up Arkansas's age of consent law, and just like what Jesse said, she is legal in Arkansas, but, and that's a heavy but, there are Romeo and Juliet laws in place for Arkansas, except for their Romeo and Juliet laws are a bit more extreme. So for those of you guys who are curious about Romeo and Juliet laws, basically, an older person is allowed to fuck a minor as long as they are not X number of years older than said minor. For most states, that is 4 years, but for Arkansas, it's 3. And like we said a second ago, Jesse was 9 years older, almost a complete decade older than Candy. So he does not qualify for this, and having sex with Candy did break the law. Now, standard Romeo and Juliet laws, 4 years apart. So that means Jesse isn't protected by those either. And the federal age of consent law is 18. So no matter which way you cut it, no matter which way you try to defend Jesse, not only did he break the law, but he fucked a minor. So I don't want to argue about this anymore. It's definitive. 9 years apart is not protected by any of our laws. Jesse committed a crime there. One of the things that people got mad at me for was that I called Jesse a pedophile. Well, I'm getting tired of people being upset about that too. So let's talk about what a pedophile is. I know it seems really childish, but we're gonna do this because some people are just really, really childish. So, pedophile, a person who is sexually attracted to children. Then I went to look up what a child is. A young human being below the age of puberty or below the age of majority. Now, I actually didn't know what age of majority was, so I had to Google that as well. Every state sets their own age of majority and the specific restrictions as to what the adult cannot do until they reach that age. The age of majority is 18 in most places except 3 states. And the only one that we needed to know, the only one that mattered for this situation, is Arkansas, which is 18. So that would mean that Candy was below the age of majority, which would mean that Candy's a child, which would mean that Jesse was attracted to a child, and that Jesse fucked a child. And people who fuck children and are sexually attracted to children are pedophiles. So I can definitively say that Jesse Pajamas is a pedophile because he fucked a child and was attracted to a child. By definition, he is a pedophile. And the last thing I want to bring up with the whole Jesse being a pedophile thing is look at Candy here. I have permission to share this photo. Look at Candy here and tell me if Candy looks like she's of age. She looks like Jesse's daughter, not Jesse's girlfriend. I don't think anybody would believe you if you said this person was anything older than 16. So not only is he attracted to a minor, he can't even use the excuse that she looked older than what she was. Another thing I want to talk about is some of the other accusations that has been made since my last stream. These accusations were on Twitter, and it was mostly from me looking around to see if Jesse had anything else before. Because one of the things that Jesse's defenders has said is that there were no other allegations before this. Candy is one lone crazy person, and Jesse does not have a history of doing this shit. So I hit up this guy named Erotic Catboy Roleplay, a very professional username there, and I asked, was Jesse Pajamas involved in this? And we can see that the post that he made all the way back in 2018 says, so, while I'm not saying that we should censor CP, which is child pornography, art, I'm saying that we should be aware that it can be used as an effective tool to groom minors, and stay very far away from those who consume such dangerous content, regardless if they act on their creepy attraction to children. So I'm wondering, who could he be talking about here? Who could be someone involved in this? I reached out to him and said, hey, was Jesse Pajamas involved in this? Because Jesse's @ is up there. You can see the @ right there. And he said, IDK dude, it was 3 years ago. I still hold the same values, and normalizing CPR is disgusting and very bad. Why are you bringing this up? And I told him, I'm trying to prove that Jesse is a pedo and is a threat to young girls. He responds with, well, he was defending CPR 3 years ago. IDK what he said. That's all I know. And the Twitter account that Jesse had posted under is banned. So there's no way to prove what Jesse said, but this guy says that Jesse defended child pornography. Very shocking. I would have never expected Jesse to do something like that. Next, we cut to his post from We Wish You a Turtle Christmas. Yo, to any of my followers who are in the Sonic fandom or community, please avoid SonicTuber known as Jesse Pajamas. That dude's a pedo and is basically Sci Guy 2.0. And this post was made in October 25th, 2018. Wow, that's quite a bit ago. That's like right when me and Jesse were first really starting being friends. It's almost like people have made this accusation for a long time now. And this is not something new, and not something I just pulled out of my ass. And he says, if anyone wants to spread the word about this creep, retweet this so more folks know about the truth. So it looks like there are more allegations, and there have been allegations for years now. Quite a few years. Very, very strange that people are acting like this is a new thing. Next, we cut to this post from DYL. I believe I was close enough to this person and others to have relevant and meaningful input. Jesse Pajamas, formerly God knows how many other usernames, exactly what I said in my last video about him switching usernames all the time, used to be an idol in my younger years and eventually a friend for a while. So this person is claiming to be a former friend of Jesse Pajamas. He said and done so many disgusting things that I've been present to hear, though I wouldn't consider myself prominent in the community. I severed myself from all ties with him years back after realizing how gross and fucked up of a person he is. Oh wow, I wonder why they would do this. It's almost like Jesse being a gross degenerate freak is not a new thing, and people have been cutting ties with him for years because he is a gross degenerate freak. I wonder if these allegations are new or if people all know who Jesse is and what he does. Had seen an old friend go through some nasty, disgusting stuff after getting involved in a relationship with him. I'm not sure they have ever come out, so please do not bug me about it. And if this person's friend ever does decide to come out, I'm always willing to talk to you. Hit me up anytime, and I'm willing to discuss what Jesse did to you if you feel comfortable enough to share your story. But that is yet again another allegation thrown at Jesse. We then have this conversation with someone who wished to remain anonymous. So I said, hey, what do you know about Jesse Pajamas? They said, I met someone who used to know him closely, that I will keep anonymous, who showed me receipts and DMs of Jesse being openly sexual with them when they were 17 and Jesse was 28. So that is yet again another sexual allegation thrown at Jesse, this time flirting around with a 17-year-old. When he was 28, he is 30 now, so this would be a few years ago. Very weird that more people are remembering this, but no actual victims are stepping forward, because just like I said last time, Jesse strong arms people into a situation where they feel too afraid to stand up. But just like I said with the last person, if any of you ever feel comfortable enough to talk to me, I am willing to bring your story to the light of day if you so want to. You're not alone, and you don't have to deal with this stuff. So if you ever feel comfortable to talk about it, hit me up. I am on Twitter and Discord. So speaking of strong arming, since my last video, Jesse and friends have been very mad at me. In my last video, I talked about how Jesse had several of his users make Kiwi Farms accounts so they could harass me. And when I started calling Jesse out for his weird pedophilic behavior, he decided to have these people harass me. First, let's see what they did when I started talking about our good friend Jesse. Well, they tried to hack me. They leaked my email, which they supposedly got from Just a Robot, and the account posted it on Kiwi Farms, but they only posted on Kiwi Farms after they harassed me, and after I had been harassed for several hours. So they tried to make it look like the Kiwi Farms was attacking me, but the Kiwi Farms didn't have the info until after I was already harassed and they tried to hack me. So Jesse is very bad at optics, apparently. If they wanted to get away with this, they should have posted it to Kiwi Farms first, then harassed me. But whatever, wait a whole day, I guess. But yeah, they found my email address through Just a Robot. And the reason why Just a Robot had my email address is because he made a video around the time that my stepdad had a stroke, and I asked him if he could include my PayPal. I did not say put my PayPal email, I said put my PayPal link, but it's whatever. I already blocked the links that they tried to send me to. I had to do several different things to get rid of the spam that they sent me. And one thing that was concerning, though, is that they tried to hack into my PayPal. And unlike every other account that they just tried to log into once, they tried to log into my PayPal so many times that PayPal made me change my password. So despite them calling me a Jew, and despite them saying I'm obsessed with money, they were very desperate to get into my PayPal and steal my money. Not that there would be much to steal anyway, because I am perpetually broke. And for those of you guys who are wondering, the skeptical of you, How do I know this is Jesse's guys? Well, when the attacks were happening, when the hackings were happening, a Kisaku account messaged me. And if you know anything about Jesse Pajamas, if you know anything about True Blue Fuse is obsessed with Kisaku. So the fact that a Kisaku account messaged me and sent me Kisaku porn definitely means that it is True and his friends doing the attack. They make it really obvious that it's them. They don't even try to hide it. It couldn't have been the Kiwi Farms because Kiwi Farms didn't have the info till the next day. They sent me Kisaku porn, which is True's calling card. Anybody who wants to say that this attack wasn't organized by Jesse and friends, you're delusional. It's obviously Jesse and friends trying to strong-arm me by spamming my email and trying to hack into my PayPal. But that wasn't all they did. In the attempts to try to strong-arm me even more, as more audio leaks came out, Jesse and friends stepped up their game. And this time they decided to try to dox me. I say try to dox me because they doxed an old address of mine that I no longer live in. And I know it's going to seem like I'm trying to lie to protect that address, but no. This was the house I lived in before I moved to California. I moved to California for a year to live with Taylor. And when I was in California, I lived at a completely different address. Now I've moved back from California and I live in an apartment in West Tulsa, which is completely different than the place that it says I'm living in online. So you're wondering, Dylan, why does it say you're living here? Well, the reason why it says I'm living there is because that's where my stimulus check went. And when you register for a stimulus check, the government archives where you're living. So that's why it says I'm living there, because that was where my stimulus checks went. And you're probably wondering, well, Dylan, why can't they just find your current address? The reason why they can't do that is because I haven't applied for another stimulus check. I haven't applied for any government benefits. I haven't really applied to anything that would register me online. So, to prove to you guys that yes, indeed, I am living somewhere else, here is my leasing paper. I have blurred out the information that is important, the information that could be used to dox me a second time. But if you look there, you will see that my area code is 7434. The area code for the house that they doxed was 74110. 74110 is 21 minutes away from my current address. So if you plan on harassing me or trying to scare me into not calling Jesse a pedophile, you will be doing nothing by harassing that address. I do not live there. I have not lived there for a while. I don't have to prove where I live, and I'm not going to tell you where I live. But I find it really funny that you guys would try to dox me over me talking about Jesse being a pedophile, which is a fact, like we showed earlier. So now you've seen that Jesse's fans and supporters will dox someone. They will try to hack into their bank accounts and their PayPal accounts to steal their money. You see that these people are actually a threat and that they are actually out to hurt people who try to expose Jesse Pajamas as a pedophile. So now hopefully you guys can see why so many victims choose to stay silent. People are saying, well, if there's so many people hurt by Jesse, why aren't they coming out about it? Maybe it's because Jesse and his fans are fucking psychos, and they will do this type of shit to you if you dare call him out. And speaking of calling him out, I did just that. I made my big video, which is now gone, and I leaked 3 calls. 3 calls with very damning evidence that Jesse did very terrible things. That including fucking 2 minors, talking to minors on Sonic Amino, accepting nudes from minors on Sonic Amino, and lastly, and most egregiously, having sex with his sisters and cousin. And Jesse has decided to hit me with privacy complaints. And this video will probably go down either via strike or privacy complaint 2. I will do my best to keep this video up because I feel like people deserve to know the truth and people deserve to be able to know what type of a person you are, Jesse. So if you want to try to silence me like you did before, I am going to fight it all the way. But for those of you guys who don't want this video to go away, I give full permission for anyone to mirror this video. Just know if you mirror this video, I cannot guarantee Jesse will not harass you. I cannot guarantee Jesse will not dox you. I cannot guarantee that Jesse will not strike you. These are the chances we take at exposing pedophiles. So yeah, Jesse is someone who's willing to abuse YouTube systems to keep people quiet. He is someone who is willing to get people to dox someone to keep them quiet. And he is someone who is even willing to hack into your accounts to try to keep you quiet. As you guys can see, Jesse is a wonderful individual, and no one has ever made any terrible claims about him ever. Now, one last thing for the addition to this big video before we start the video proper and you hear a bunch of stuff you might already heard. I got in a call with Jesse's ex, Killian. And he'll say Killian's crazy because he says all of his exes are crazy. But Killian decided to talk to me about Jesse's sisters and his cousin. And that will be the only part of the call I'll be playing because I feel like it is the most damning part of the call. So I'm sorry for those of you guys who have to hear this, but I feel like it's very important for me to play it. And then after this is over, we'll get into the video proper.
So I have somewhat, I don't know if you have this information. I know that Jesse told Candy some of this, but I don't know how much he told her in specific as compared to myself when he thought that I was quote unquote into it when I wasn't. He tells every person that he's dating this same info, either because he thinks it's sexy or because he's wanting to come across as vulnerable. And I can't tell which is the truth and which isn't. But essentially, he always tells whoever he's quote-unquote getting romantic with that he has touched his sisters. Is because every time that he would talk to me about this conversation, he would get pissed. He would literally be like, I can't believe they're not fucking over it. As if it's his sister's fault that he did that to them. Like, the way that he approached the conversation with me on all occasions was like, I'm just trying to live my life and move on and get over it. Your sisters were asleep when you tried to touch them. They woke up freaked out. And not only, it wasn't just all in one night. He did it one to the first one. And then he tried it again after the fucking thing blew up. He tried it again with the other one.
And apparently his cousin.
Yes, his cousin as well. And he wonders why his mom doesn't treat him well. He wonders why he doesn't have a good relationship.
I'm going to tell you my entire experience with Jesse Pajamas. I'm going to tell you some of the things that people who were close to him have told me. And I want you guys to take everything I say with a heavy grain of salt. Just know, I've never canceled anyone before this. I do not like cancel culture, and I do not participate in it. You know that I am not the type of person to make up things about people. I never have made up things about people, and I never will make up things about people. But even saying that, I still want you to take what I say with a grain of salt, solely because I can't definitively prove the things that I'm saying. But today we are going to be talking about my experience with Jesse Pajamas and the things that I have seen myself and have been told myself. So, just know, there's not a lot of hard evidence to any of this. When I get done editing screenshots and making sure that there's no porn in them, because there's a lot of porn, I can back up some of the things that I say, but a lot of the stuff is lost to time because Jesse reaches out to the people involved and has them delete shit. So I only have minimum evidence to anything that I say. With Jesse Pajamas, things were good when I first met him. And I really liked hanging out with the guy. I thought that he was a cool person, and I thought that he had the same sense of humor I did. So I really thought that we would get along. And over time, he started calling me his friend. I don't ever remember calling him my friend, but he started calling me his friend, and he started like acting like that we were close buds and stuff. So I guess over time, he thought that there was a friendship there. I always made it clear that we were people who made videos together, and that was that. I don't really have internet friends, and for the people who I would consider friends, they're people who I've spent a lot of time with and have told a lot of personal things to. Jesse really isn't one of those people. So I'm saying that ahead of time. So in case Jesse comes out of the woodwork from him being banned from YouTube and tries to say that I'm a scorned friend, it's not really the case. I never really saw him too much as a friend, but what he did was still fucked up anyway. So we started doing videos together, and it was just me, Jesse, and True. And eventually, I deemed it necessary to bring a woman onto the team, because I thought that having a woman on the team would diversify our cast. It would give a woman a chance to do woman roles in the comic dubs and the fan fictions we were reading instead of just Jesse doing a ton of voices. I thought that it would increase the chemistry on the set and make the videos more interesting. That woman that I brought on was Jill, or Jazzo McSpazzo. And I've already talked to her about making a video like this before, so I already have permission to talk about all this, so just know that ahead of time. Well, after a bit with me and Jill and Jesse and True recording stuff together, I noticed that Jesse was getting uncomfortably close to Jill. Jill is married, or was married. She's actually going through a divorce right now. But at the time, she was married, and she was having marital troubles. And I had been talking to her about these troubles, and I had been trying to help her seek out therapy and try to work out things in her relationship. And at that same time, though, Jesse was getting close to Jill and encouraging her to cheat on her husband with him. And they were doing this behind mine and True's back, and they refused to tell us that they were an item. They refused to tell their supposed friends that they were a thing, and they continued to hide this. So eventually me and True thought that Jesse was sexually harassing Jill, because he continued to say very inappropriate things to her, and he continued to be really creepy towards her. Eventually, I finally got Jill to admit that they were an item and that they had been flirting around and had been planning on meeting up and stuff. And at that point, things made more sense. But the fact that they were willing to hide it and the fact that they were committing an affair was already pretty fucked, and it already strained a lot of the relationships we had built up. Well, at the same time, or around the same time, Jesse was talking to a different girl. This girl's name was Candy. And Candy is someone who had actually visited Jesse and had been at Jesse's house for multiple weeks in a row. And according to Candy, either Jesse cheated on her with Jill, or he left her right before so then he could get with Jill. Either way, he fucked over this person to get with a married woman. And there's more hilarity surrounding this situation. That being that when Candy would visit Jesse, she had been told by Jesse and sent pictures by Jesse that he had a sex doll. And that sex doll was built off of or made to resemble a character from Aquaman, actually Aquaman's wife. He called it Aquaman's wife. And she said that she was going to destroy said sex doll. And when she went to stay with Jesse, she looked for the sex doll, but couldn't find it. So not only does Jesse have a Aquaman sex doll, he has it hidden when the few women in his life come to visit, in fear that they will murder it. Another thing that's funny, because we're talking about Candy, is that he had sent her pictures of him holding Aquaman's trident. He spent money. He spent precious fucking money on a giant replica of Aquaman's trident. and he sent this to impress women. And he also has the Green Ranger's little fucking weapon, which is why during my Linkara stuff I said a lot of weirdos are obsessed with the Green Ranger. That was a jab at Jesse Pajamas, because he is a weirdo who is obsessed with the Green Ranger. And that's pretty much all the Candy stuff. Just know that when Jesse got with Jill, or started fucking around with Jill, it hurt Candy, who is someone who actually slept with Jesse. Someone who actually dealt with Jesse's many, many issues. One of those issues being that he has erectile dysfunction. Jesse not only has an ED page, he has ED. And this woman put up with his fucking issues, put up with his fucking insanity of him owning a trident, him owning an Aquaman fucking sex doll, put up with all of his fucking Shotacon, Lolicon fucking shit. And he still fucking got with someone else who was supposed to be his friend and co-host. So, just know ahead of time, even before I knew the fucked up shit about Jesse, there were fucked up shit about Jesse already. But when he fucked over Candy, who is a crazy furry girl, and she decided to leak a ton of shit about Jesse Pajamas. And because of her, I know a lot of shit about Jesse Pajamas that I shouldn't fucking know. It's beyond fucked up. It involves his family.
No, I don't want to screw Nanako. I don't like lollies, dude. I don't go searching for lollies. I'm not Kami from Second Life. Like, lollies are okay with a pair that's like a Shota or something, but like, they're not my fucking bread and butter. And I don't know what is wrong with you people, why you and Drew keep perpetuating the idea that they're my fucking favorite thing in the world. I don't understand that.
I don't know, big bro.
I mean, I do have an idea, and I think it's because you want me to be guilty of something, but I don't understand why it's such a prevalent thing that keeps coming back. When it has so little to do.
Because I remember specifically of you telling me that, and that you're super into it, especially after when she started calling the main character you big bro, and I knew you like had kind of a little spaz attack because of the whole incest fetish.
I think you're misremembering. You know what? If that was true, I would own up to it. But I really don't think that's what happened.
We were on Skype when that happened.
Well, you can tell me that's what happened, but I really don't think that's what happened. And I would never say the same, even if that is what happened, I would never say the same thing today.
Okay.
Because if that was my taste back then, maybe it was. You know what? Maybe that was my taste back then, but it's not now.
Okay, and that's fair.
I don't care for lollies. I don't care for that shit. You know, I don't
Anymore?
like petite girls. What?
Anymore?
Well, yeah, at one point I liked them when I was like fucking 13.
Okay, don't say 13, because based on the fact that you liked Nanako when we were talking on Skype.
No. I'm not agreeing to liking Nanako. You're just assuming that I'm agreeing to liking Nanako, and I'm not. You know, I really just don't know what you want from me anymore. Do you want me to not be friends with Drew and Dylan and them?
I don't care, that's your own decision.
No, I'm asking you what you want. I'm not asking you to make a decision for me.
I don't care about your friends. Like your friend groups, like who you're friends with, necessarily. I care about if you lie to them or not. If you're completely honest with them.
You and me consider lying are two different things, because you think I should just go around telling people my fetishes all the time.
Well, I'm not saying necessarily go around telling people your kinks or whatever, but don't fucking just don't deliberately lie about shit to cover up your own ass.
So you think I should just go around telling people about my sisters? Just willy-nilly?
Well, no.
You think that? That's what you think?
No, not necessarily. But if you're gonna...
Well, what do you think?
If you're going to bring something up, especially a touchy subject, why would you...
When have I brought that up?
You've brought that up to Dylan and True. You've talked about it.
After you told
No, I did not. No, that's not. No, you mentioned the fact that you're getting bullied. Shh. You mentioned the fact that you're getting bullied because people accused you of messing with your sisters. In that sense.
You know why I brought that up with Joe? Because he kept saying shit about that first, and I told him I didn't want to hear it.
He was making incest jokes.
And I didn't want to tell him the full truth because it's none of his business.
He was.
I still don't think it's
Yeah, he was just making incest jokes, just jokes, and you took it personally.
Not about me. I can make suicide jokes. My dad committed suicide. Do you think I want people making jokes about my dad dying? Do you think I want people making jokes about my sisters and I? Do you think I want that? Does that mean I'm not allowed to make incest jokes about fictional hedgehogs?
Well, he didn't make incest jokes about you, though.
Drew did make incest jokes about me in Dylan's videos. I asked Dylan to remove them from the videos in the editing process, and he did.
Well, that is not what I heard. You were just making incest jokes in general.
In fact, most of them haven't been removed at all, and you can go and watch some of our videos, and they're still there.
Okay.
So I addressed Drew and I said, you need to stop. He asked me why. He started to dig. I didn't want to tell him the full story, and I don't think I ever needed to tell him the full story because it's none of his business. I just told him I wanted him to stop.
Then what about Dylan? Because you told Dylan, too.
What about Dylan?
You told Dylan as well.
So what?
Well, what does Dylan have to do with it? He's not the one who was digging, was he?
I don't know what we're talking about right now. We're talking about True, because that's what True does.
I'm not talking about True either. They both told me this. Shh.
Calm down. Calm down, please.
I am calm. I'm asking you a question because they both told me the same story. Because you told them that you were getting bullied in high school because people are accusing you about the incest shit with your sisters and your cousin. But mostly just your sister.
Yep.
But why Dylan, though? Because apparently I know why with True, but why Dylan?
Because he had added up the video.
All you did was ask him, though, so was he digging?
No, Dylan doesn't dig.
Okay,
Doesn't care.
then why would you tell him?
She was probably just in the voice call with us.
Well, he made it seem like you told him directly, then.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you how you think he made it seem like, but...
Because he told me.
Okay.
I tell people things to be honest with them. I tell you things to better...
How do you think my sisters feel knowing that you're going around the internet telling people who don't know them, who it's none of their business?
Oh, I'm not going around the internet saying... I wasn't going around the internet saying any of that. There's only 2 people that know. Besides me. Or besides your family, at least. Only 2 people. And I told you this.
How do you think they feel about this?
Did you talk to them about it?
I talked to my mom about it.
Well, then I wouldn't know how your sisters felt.
Well, how would you know anyway? Whether or not I talked to them?
Because I would assume that you would tell me, oh, this is how they felt. But...
Well, what does it matter to you how they felt? You don't care. You don't seem to care how they would have felt. That's why you went and told people anyway.
Well, considering they weren't technically a part of my life anymore. Because you wanted to screw that over. Yeah.
So you think it's just okay to go around telling people that?
I'm just going to talk about the things that I've seen myself and things that I can verify myself. So, continuing, he would share a ton of Shotacon porn with Candy. He would share a ton of lolicon porn with Candy. He would share a ton of fucking incest porn with Candy. And he would even say that he liked this porn, that this is what he got off to, and that this is the type of stuff that he was into. He sent her porn of kids being molested by adults. One of the things that he also fucking sent her, which he gave me a bullshit story. I don't know if it's true at this point. I don't fucking care if it's true. But he sent her a video of a fucking dog performing sexual acts on a human. And he said that it was for a fucking joke. He said that it was for a fucking meme, that there was meme music behind it. I don't fucking care if it's a meme. I don't fucking care if it's a joke. I don't care if there's meme music. You sent fucking shit of dogs involving humans, and it wasn't to expose someone. You did it as a joke. You are a sick fuck. And this is stuff that I have receipts for. So just know, none of this stuff that I'm saying right now is just up in the air. This is fucking facts. I can get interviews with Jill if I have to. I can get interviews with Candy if she would want to. This is stuff that is provable. But now, let's move away from the stuff that is provable and move into some of the more shady stuff, some of the more hidden stuff. Whenever Jesse wasn't with girls on Discord, he would be on Sonic Amino. And I have seen this. I have seen this firsthand, and I have seen his fucking chat logs before when he was screen sharing. He would talk to people on Sonic Amino. And I don't think I have to tell you that most people on Sonic Amino are not of age. Most people on Sonic Amino are minors. And shock of all shocks, Jesse has been accused of messing around with multiple minors.
What about the Amino?
What about it? I've always loved making comics too.
Well, I warned a few people on the Amino.
You what?
I've warned a few people on the Amino.
Yeah, so all the leaders have already come to me and said shit.
And?
And you know, I don't know what else is there to say.
Well, frankly, I think you should leave the Amino.
Why do you think that?
The audience.
The audience?
Yes. The underage audience. 13-year-olds.
Well, I mean, it's not like I'm making porn on there. I don't like.
Well, you're not necessarily making porn. No, you're not. But frankly, I don't think you necessarily need to be on there at all. Just based on the fact of the sexual role playing that I know you've done. Excuse me. I don't think you need to be on there necessarily due to the fact of your sexual role playing that you've done. Do you have anything to say about that?
I think it's a valid opinion.
I mean, you broke that rule.
So
Wouldn't you agree?
A few leaders that I've come across.
Excuse me?
So if a few leaders that I've come across.
Yes, Pixel. Oh, I already know.
Okay.
And your content is not necessarily kid-friendly. And with your history, I don't think more, per se, susceptible users should be influenced by you. If you want to make
what
comics...
you're saying is you want me to leave my YouTube account and you want me to leave Amino.
I'm not saying you need to leave your YouTube account or your Amino, but
That
I
would
think
make me
leaving
happy.
Amino would be good for you, because then you're going to be away from people much younger than you.
But, I mean, you know I don't talk to people on Amino.
Well, then who's this girl? And by the way, what about Pixel? What about those little comics? And, what about Dream Caddy and all your little supporters?
Those are leaders.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You still talk to people on Amino.
Kids on there. Hello?
Excuse me?
Hello?
Yes.
Again, I've only ever talked to leaders at all.
so it's not a leader.
That's what
Salty was not a leader until recently.
I said except.
Pixel was not a leader until recently.
Well, yeah, but she was an adult.
Uh-huh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what about the underage person that technically catfished you? And technically you have child porn up now.
I blocked them.
What about her nudes that she sent you?
I don't have them.
That's not what we were told.
Well, I don't have them anymore. Yeah,
So you admit to that.
A year ago.
So you admit that you had porn of her, right?
She sent me a picture of her tits.
How old was she?
But she sent the same
How
damn
old was
picture
she?
to her fucking school.
How old was she? Answer the question.
She was either 17 or 18 when she sent me that.
She said she was 17 when she sent that.
Okay, well, I was 17 or 18. That's what
Well,
I said.
you do realize that's child pornography, right?
Yeah, and you do realize I don't have it.
It doesn't matter. It's still in your history. And she apparently told me, no, shush. Well, at least what I was told. You pressured her into sending those nudes.
That's what she told you.
That's what I was told.
Yeah. Everyone's gotta make themselves out to be innocent, right?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what to tell you other than I don't think so.
You don't think so of what?
I don't think I pressured her.
Well, that's what I heard differently.
And I'm sure that you think that. I'm sure she thinks that. I'm sure.
Well, she did mention about, she also mentioned your little fetish stuff to people too.
My what?
Your fetish stuff, like apparently you were telling her about your Shotokan and Lolicon and stuff fetishes.
Yeah.
And yeah, she told other people that you're being a creepy pedophile.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want me to do? I'm a creepy pedophile that talks to a 17-year-old. And you want me to stop talking to basically everyone?
I'm not asking you to stop talking to everyone. That's your own decision.
Okay, well, what do you want?
I think you should close your amino, because there is minors on there, and with your history, that's not good.
So you think I'm just like a pedophile that just goes looking around for minors?
No, I don't necessarily think that, but it's not good
Well, what do
because
you
of
think?
what
Because you
people
think
know.
something. Tell me right now what you think.
I just told you.
No, say it again because I was talking because I didn't hear you.
It's not good because of based on what people know.
And what do people know?
People know that you slept with me when I was underage. People know I was a minor.
You weren't a minor in your state, just in mine. Age of consent laws are a bitch.
Yeah, you broke your law. Your law still follows you even if you leave the state. You are still under New York law.
Or not, but go on.
Excuse me? Repeat?
I said we can agree to disagree on whether or not that's fucking a stupid law or not. But
I'm not saying if it's a stupid law or not. It's still the law.
I understand where you're coming from. You don't have to argue with me on that.
Okay. I'm not trying to argue.
That makes me a predator.
By technicality, it does.
No. Do you think that makes me a predator?
If says is true, and you went after her, and her being an underage girl, and age gap, even if she was a year from quote-unquote being legal,
She's legal at 17 in my state.
it doesn't matter. There's still that age gap.
Okay, so the whole legal thing that
Shh. Yes. You going after girls, even if they're quote-unquote legal, in your state, there's still an age gap, and it still does not look good.
Remember that Candy girl I told you about? Well, he ended up messing around with Candy when she was a minor. He fucked Candy when she was a minor. He specifically went to her state knowing that the age of consent was different than in his state so he could fuck her. And she said that she wasn't the only minor that he fucked, that there was another minor before her that threatened to get him in trouble with the law.
I have another thing. What about the 14-year-old in Michigan?
Who?
How about the 14-year-old in Michigan?
Who's that?
When you were 19? And you went...
Was he in Michigan?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
The girl, or well, the chick, the underage girl that you slept with. And you ran away from the cops.
Wasn't on the internet.
And you ran away from the cops from.
What?
Yeah, the girl.
I wasn't in Michigan, and that she wasn't 14. And also, I never slept with her. You got the story way wrong.
Right.
Okay, no. Oh my God, rewind. No, in Michigan, I was 14 when I lost my virginity.
Okay.
Yeah, and when I was 19, I got catfished by a 14-year-old when I met her on her 15th birthday, which I thought was her 19th birthday.
But didn't she say that she wanted you to lie, that you were like 16?
Yes, she did. She wanted me to lie, and I did. But then when, literally, a couple hours into the day, her aunt outed her, and I told them my age. And when I tried to explain to them the situation, they still saw me as the bad guy and tried to, apparently called the cops on me. I didn't run away from the cops. I left on my own and said, I'm getting away from this. You guys are crazy.
You still technically left when the cops were...
I left on my own, not because I was in trouble. I left because I was destroyed. And mind you, this was a person that I had been talking to for months. Someone who gained my trust. Someone who, had spent a lot of time with me, getting comfortable with me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Keeping up a lie that they were a certain age. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? When I went to meet them and I found out their actual age, I got in my car immediately and went home. Later on, I got a text from her saying that the cops were called, but they're not going to pursue any charges under the pretense that she was lying about her age the whole time.
Okay.
What, you're saying because you don't believe me?
Because you told me a different story, but okay.
What did I tell you?
I already told you. I told you that you said you went to this girl.
We never slept together. It wasn't in Michigan. And yes, she did make me lie about her age while I was there, but I almost immediately revealed my true age and went home.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a pretty fucked up situation. And I basically got into practically the same situation with you.
You were.
Yeah, I'm the bad guy in both situations.
Before you saw me, I warned you. I told you, I was like, hey, I'm underage, because then I realized this situation is fucked and I need to stop. And I told you my real age because I decided I can't keep doing this. I can't keep lying. I'm lying that I'm 4 years older than I really am. And I told you, you were not okay with it. You had the opportunity to walk away, but you chose not to because you wanted things to work out.
Yeah, you're right.
And you
I should have walked away, but I didn't because I was a fucking idiot. I was lonely, and I had already attached myself to you. So it was very difficult to walk away. I should have. I thought that maybe I could just wait it out. I actually did love you. I thought you were worth waiting for. But I guess now that's not how you see it. The way you see it is I was just this pedophile monster that saw that as, hey, that's my opportunity to get what I really want, which is underage girls or whatever.
A little bit. Because you had the opportunity to walk away.
Really? That's how
I mean,
you see it.
Kind of
If
proves
that's
that.
how you see it, then in the past 4 or 5 years that you've known me, then you have not gotten to know me at all. If that's how you see it.
Well, legally, yes, I see it that way.
No, don't bring up legally. I'm saying, how do you see it? You, not how does America see it, not how does Donald Trump see it, not how does the police station see it. Of course they're all going to say, well, you're the man and you're over it, so you're obviously the bad guy. Well, that's how everyone's going to fucking see it. I'm asking you, how do you see it?
I think you fucking played me. That's for damn sure.
I played you.
Oh, yeah.
So he has fucked around with multiple minors. He says with the other minor, she lied about her age. I can't prove that. Jesse is a known liar. Jesse has lied to me God knows how many times. So take anything that Jesse says with a bigger grain of salt. But Jesse has told me that yes, he did fuck around with a second minor. He just didn't know the age. So that's 2 fucking minors that Jesse has fucked with. And he's on Sonic Amino talking to other minors. So that's multiple fucking minors that he's talking to. He's on Sonic Amino. He's a fucking known creep. He's in the Shotokan. He's in the fucking Lolicon. Let's continue talking about Jesse Pajamas. Let's fucking continue talking about this man. Well, not only does he fucking do this shit, not only does he talk to kids on fucking Sonic Amino, he also has a Discord server. Now, I know that as soon as I said Discord server, a fucking chill went up your spine. A fucking cringe went down your back. Because you're wondering, why? Why, dear God, are you bringing up Discord? Well, let me tell you why I'm bringing up Discord. Jesse now has 3 Discords. It used to just be 1 Discord where he watches porn with minors. I have hopped into calls before where there were minors in the call and he was watching porn with them. Sometimes it's hentai, sometimes it's straight up literal fucking porn, like actual live action porn. And he does this on a fucking weekly, if not daily basis. And now he has a private Discord server exclusively with the intent of sharing porn and watching porn in it. I will have proof for this too. Hopefully I will get screenshots for this soon. It will be in the description below when I add in all the fucking screenshots. Just know, more evidence is coming, more shit is coming, more stuff is gonna be fucking posted. I'm fucking done dealing with Jesse's shit. So he has multiple fucking Discord servers where he watches porn with people who are underage. He talks to people who are underage. He's fucked 2 people who were underage. He says he's in the Lolicon. He says he's in the Shotokan. He shares fucking images of minors being molested by adults. I don't think I have to fucking say anything more at this point. I really don't think I have to say a damn thing after this fucking point. But I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue, because that's just the tip of the fucking iceberg. I just wanted to get all the big shit out of the way before I start going into the fucking petty shit. So, let me tell you some petty stories involving Jesse Pajamas. So, Jesse sees me and True as close friends. He saw me and True as his buddies. He even fucking called me one day when he was threatening to fucking kill himself and said that he wanted to watch Aquaman with me or he was gonna off himself. And of course, I did watch Aquaman with him. It wasn't that good of a movie, but I'm willing to do that if he says he's going to fucking die. So, he's good friends with us, apparently. Well, one day, when Jesse and True were streaming, True, being the edgy fuck that he is, decided to make a joke at Jesse's expense. That being a joke that Jesse's dad committed suicide. That is a true fact. He did commit suicide. And True decided to poke fun at that, like True pokes fun at literally everything, because True is a fucking tryhard who can't be funny if he fucking tried. So, Jesse gets very upset by this. And instead of just telling True directly, instead of just being a man and fucking telling True to his face how he fucking felt about him, he decided to be a petty bitch. And when I say he's a petty bitch, he just quit talking to True. He told me to not invite True to our recordings. He told me not to talk to True. He told me to avoid True, that he was fucking done dealing with True. But True didn't know about this. True didn't know that Jesse was avoiding him. I had to tell him that Jesse was avoiding him. I had to work with both of these people for multiple weeks just to finally get them to talk, because Jesse was avoiding True and not talking to him because he's 12 apparently. So eventually I got those two to work it out, and eventually I got them to agree to record shit. This is all during the Sonichu shit. So have you ever wondered why Sonichu episodes took so long to come out? It's because Jesse was being a fucking petty bitch behind the scenes. And right after, almost right after, me and True and Jesse worked things out and finally got back to making videos again, Jesse and Jill had issues. So let me tell you about Jesse and Jill's issues. So, Jesse was flirting with Jill in front of her husband. They agreed to meet up at a convention, and Jesse was saying he's not intimidated by Jill's husband. He'd beat Jill's husband up. He's not fucking intimidated by this man. He lets the man drive him around. He lets the man hang around them. Such a fucking tough guy. So Jesse is trying to have sex with Jill at said convention, and Jill keeps avoiding him at all fucking cost. One time she hangs out with her brother. Another time she calls me and we hang out for multiple hours on end. And this is pissing Jesse off. And he decides to be an extremely petty fucking bitch about this situation, to the point where he even vents his own fucking frustration against me and admits that he's jealous of me talking to my friend. And Jill is someone who I'd actually consider a friend, because me and Jill have actually talked about serious stuff together. Me and Jill are actually close with each other. Me and Jill haven't fucked each other over on multiple occasions. So me and Jill were talking, and Jesse was being a petty bitch the whole time in her DMs, telling her to go have sex with him in his hotel room. And I don't think I have to tell you, they didn't have sex. Or at least according to Jill, they didn't have sex. And according to him, they didn't have sex when both of them were venting their fucking laundry later. When both of them were fucking throwing out their dirty laundry at each other, they said they didn't have sex. If they did have sex, I'm sure I would have heard about it. I'm sure I would have heard how terrible it was. If they did, I would... I think that would be fucking hilarious, because it would probably be the worst fucking day of her life. But as far as I know, they didn't do anything, and that made Jesse really fucking angry. So angry to the point that when they got back to their respective states, he didn't want to talk to Jill anymore. So for weeks on end, he avoided Jill. And yet again, he did the same thing where he approached me in the DMs and he's like, Dylan, don't invite Jill onto our recordings. Dylan, don't hang out with Jill. Don't talk to Jill. I talk to Jill anyway because I don't fucking care what he says. But it took a while. It took a while for me to get him to agree to have Jill on anything. And by the end of it, he kept avoiding all recordings that had Jill in it. So that's why I had to bring Lord Danny on, because Jesse was mad that he didn't get to fuck his co-host, and he decided to avoid her altogether. So he fucked over True and avoided True for multiple weeks on end because he's a fucking child. He avoided Jill for multiple weeks on end because he's a fucking child. And I had to be the fucking mediator between all of these people. I had to be the Dr. Phil to this fucking group of retards on multiple occasions because no one could talk like fucking adults. So you're probably wondering, well, Dylan, why did you stop recording with Jesse for a while? Well, let me fucking tell you. Shock of all shocks, Jesse felt slighted with me and decided to avoid me for weeks on end. So Jesse, sometime around a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now, he was working things out with Moogie Mikey. Moogie Mikey was one of Jesse's old friends from years ago, and he wanted to go back to associating with Moogie. And Moogie Mikey doesn't like me. Moogie Mikey is offended by the content that I make, and I refuse to change for Moogie Mikey. So Jesse decided to start avoiding me. so he could hang out with Moogie Mikey. And you will notice on my channel, when Jesse dips from my channel altogether, he starts appearing on Moogie Mikey's channel over and over and over again. Now, this went on for weeks on end. Jesse wouldn't talk to me in DMs. Jesse would pretend like nothing was wrong. He would ignore me whenever I'd try to reach out to him and handle this like a fucking man. And eventually, this all fucking met up to his birthday. Jesse Pajamas had already invited me to his fucking birthday stream, and I was supposed to be on there along with all of his other supposed fucking friends. Well, I go into the chat to get into his birthday stream, and he ignores me. I super chat him, telling him I'm ready to go onto the stupid birthday stream that he invited me on, and he ignores me. And after that fucking point, I'm just like, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy completely. I cut him off for up to 6 months on end because of that fucking petty behavior. I never got on that fucking birthday stream. And at that point, I was done with him. I was done with him completely. And then months later, he reaches out to me saying he wants to work things out, that he's put it behind him, and that he would like to be friends with me again. And me being the person that I am, I end up talking things out with him and working with him again. It was to a much smaller degree, but I also noticed that when I was doing videos with him again, he was starting to disappear from Mikey's channel. And that's because Mikey had gotten in some heat over some edgy jokes that they made on his channel, and he was starting to distance himself from Jesse. So Jesse only started getting close with me again when Mikey started not talking to him. So eventually, Jesse starts dating this trans person, and he starts word policing me, or trying to word police me. It didn't really work. Whenever I would make an edgy joke about trans people, because he was with a trans person. And shock of all shocks, a month later, the trans person betrays Jesse, and Moogie Mikey betrays Jesse by doing a call-out post on him and canceling him. And despite everything Jesse's done, despite every fucking person he's fucked over, I still reached out to Jesse and I'm like, Jesse, it's fucked that they're doing this to you. It's fucked that your channel is getting flagged. It's fucked that you're being deplatformed. You don't deserve this. I'm going to do videos defending you. I'm going to try as much as I can, but if things get too bad, I'm dipping. I told him that ahead of time. If things get too bad, then I'm done. So, I start making Moogie Mikey videos, calling out how Mikey was two-faced, how Mikey is just as edgy as Jesse, and how he was throwing Jesse under the bus just to save himself. And this was at the same time that Jesse was whining nonstop. He was being a fucking crybaby. He was still in his Discord server, doing all the same shit I described earlier, and now he's fucking complaining all the time. He threatens to delete his Discord. He threatens to delete his YouTube. He talks about how his life is over. And all this time I'm trying to help the guy. All this time I'm trying to fucking do what I can to fix this shit. It's around this time that Candy comes back and leaks more shit on Jesse. And I never touched the Candy shit. I never fucking defended him from Candy because I can't fucking say what he did to Candy wasn't fucked up. He fucked her when she was a minor. He fucked her when she was underage. And he did send to her bestiality. So I can't fucking defend that. I can't fucking touch that. I tried to help Jesse where I could. And I wasn't gonna fucking touch that with a 10-foot pole. After all that, though, I was still trying to defend Jesse. Well, eventually, people start flagging Jesse's channel. People start flagging any video that Jesse appeared in. If Jesse appeared on my channel, it'd get flagged. If Jesse uploaded on his channel, it'd get flagged. Jesse's channel is now banned from YouTube because people kept flagging him. And when the flags started coming in, and when people made it clear that if you work with Jesse, you will also get flagged, that's when I dipped. I told Jesse, I told True, at this point, it's not worth it. I'm gonna do like I said before and leave. I'm done. I have nothing against Jesse. I had nothing against True. I'm just leaving because it's not worth getting my fucking accounts banned over to defend Jesse again when he's hardly ever fucking done the same for me. This is the man who's fucked me over, he's fucked True over, he's fucked Jill over, he's done God knows how many fucked up things. It was not worth getting my channel banned just to fucking help him. So I tell him that, and the whole time in the chat, True is like, well, Dylan, don't you care about doing what's right? Don't you care about defending the innocent? Don't you care about bringing justice to YouTube? And I told him, no. It doesn't matter what's true. It doesn't matter what's right. It doesn't fucking matter what's fair. If the mob says Jesse is canceled and anyone who works with Jesse is canceled, then that's how it is. And I'm dipping before I get fucked on. So I fucking left. And True got all fucking mad at me. True fucking did all this stupid fucking shit. He called me a Jew unironically. All of Jesse's server started fucking calling me a Jew unironically because I decided to put my fucking job above them. I decided to put my livelihood above defending Jesse, a 30-year-old man baby who constantly fucked me over, who constantly fucked over everyone else associated with him, someone who still talks to minors, someone who still shows porn to minors, someone who continues to do fucked up shit repeatedly to the point where he's been canceled God knows how many fucking times. I don't know what he expected me to do. And now, Jesse and his group, they have been continuing to harass me. They have been continuing to fucking stalk me. They're in my server, starting shit as many times as they can. I've had to ban God knows how many people from Jesse's server and my server because they were just there to stir up shit. Every time I mention Jesse, they fucking screenshot it and send it to him and start more shit. These people have made accounts and they went on my fucking Kiwi farms, which is funny because they made fun of AWF for doing that. But now they're doing it. And Jesse made a Kiwi Farms just to go on my fucking Kiwi Farms and shit talk me. They're doing all this shit because I decided to not help him one fucking time. So if you ever decide to not help Jesse and you're one of his friends, then you're his fucking enemy and he will turn on you. And I never said I was done associating with Jesse, like, altogether. I never once fucking told him that. I told him, I'm fine with talking to you behind the scenes. I'm fine with continuing to associate with you off of YouTube. But I couldn't do videos with him because those videos would get flagged. There's a reason why I fucking deleted all my fanfiction readings that were sexual that had Jesse in them. Because people were flagging every single one of my fucking videos where it involved like sexual fucking fanfictions because Jesse was in them. This is the whole fucking story with Jesse Pajamas. There's more. There's always going to be more. I'm sure I left a lot out. There's the story of Jesse and his fucking magnificent chair where I told him I had a shitty desk chair and he said that a man's only worth as much as his chair and went on to brag about his ugly fucking recliner. There's a lot of things that I could talk about with Jesse, but I think I've gotten the most damning shit out of the way. I think I've gotten all the stuff that I needed to get out of the way. Hopefully you guys now know Jesse's a fucking weirdo. Jesse is a fucking degenerate freak. And not only is he a degenerate freak, he is a degenerate freak that constantly fucks people over. He's a degenerate freak that constantly harasses people if they dare to disagree with him. He's a degenerate freak that when Candy threatened to call him out, he got in her head and convinced her that she was the bad guy and had her delete mountains of evidence of him grooming people. He fucking had her delete a ton of shit. So the only thing that's left from the people who exposed him is what I've managed to take. It's what I managed to hold on to because Jesse always fucking strong arms people. And because I dared to not defend him, because I dared to not die on the same hill as him, he's been trying to fucking strong arm me. He's been trying to fucking harass me. They've brought up my fucking relationship with Taylor. They've brought up the new fucking people I'm hanging out with, that being Dolly, or British Jesse, and my friend Lava. and they've been fucking harassing them. They've been stalking them. These guys are fucking creeps. Jesse's fucking fans are in a server right now that has minors in it, and they watch porn with them. They are in a fucking server where there is no fucking thing stopping kids from watching porn with adults. So at the end of the day, I want you guys to look at the facts. Jesse Pajamas is someone who has confirmed fucked 2 minors. Jesse is someone who has been confirmed to be into Lolly and Shotokan. He is someone who has shared Lolly and Shotokan. He is someone who has admitted to getting off to the idea of an adult fucking a kid. He is someone who has continued to talk to underage people. He is someone who's in a server, in multiple servers now, where kids watch porn with adults. He is someone who is a fucking creep. He is someone who fucks over literally everyone in his life. Before me, there was Mikey. Before Mikey, there was Evan. There is God knows how many people in Jesse's fucking closet that he has fucking constantly screwed over. Jesse is a terrible person. But not only is he a terrible person, he is a gross, degenerate creep. And I hope that now you guys understand why I don't fucking associate with him anymore. I hope you guys understand why there isn't any evidence to the shit that he's done. But like I said at the beginning, take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just a giant fucking rant fest. This is just a giant fucking video of me rambling because I'm tired of this shit being hidden. I'm tired of him constantly strong-arming the victims into being quiet. I'm tired of covering up all the shit that this gross freak has done. I am tired of these fucking people harassing me and the people that I know. I am tired of these people continuously getting away with it. And if it wasn't for the fact that every time Jesse tries to come back to YouTube, he gets fucking flagged, he'd still be on YouTube. He'd still be on YouTube doing the same fucking shit. So I want you guys to reconsider what you think about Jesse Pajamas. I want you guys to fucking think twice before asking me, bring back Jesse Pajamas. Think twice before looking back at those videos, because you know all the shit that happened behind the scenes. You know all the shit that he does now. There's so many other things that you could look at that imply he's a fucking creep. He's played Babysitting Cream for 8 years. 8 years he has consistently played Babysitting Cream. This isn't a one-time gag. This is a fucking ritual he does. Like, seriously. Seriously. Just think about it. Just fucking think about it. This isn't me canceling the guy. This isn't me fucking throwing accusations at him. This is fucking true. This is true shit. Jesse is a fucking weirdo that fucks around with kids. That is a fact. But has he done anything illegal? No. I'm not accusing Jesse of breaking the law. There's no way for me to prove that Jesse is watching porn in a Discord with minors. There's no way for me to prove that Jesse has hit these minors up on Sonic Amino because the evidence is gone. There's nothing for me to prove that he's fucked other minors because he fucked them over 5 years ago. So there's no justice. There's no fucking right to this. There's nothing anyone can do about this other than to just fucking leave him. Leave him to die in irrelevancy. Just leave him to fucking rot on kiwi farms, continuing to hold a grudge against me, even though I've known this shit for God knows how long. And one of the things I know people are going to say that I should have came out about this sooner. Well, it's really hard to want to come out about this story because there's really no fucking evidence. There's hardly anything that you can say against him. All the victims have been silenced. They refuse to talk out against him. All the evidence has been scrubbed. There is the reputation that he holds in my community. I was always constantly terrified that if I did call him out, that people would instantly turn on me and believe him because he has such a stronghold in my community. He has such a presence in the Sonic community that it was it was hard to see me calling him out and it working. So just know, there is evidence of this shit. I have screenshots of him saying that he's into Shotokan. I have screenshots showing that he sent bestiality porn to people. I have a lot of stuff, but everything else is gone. Everything else is fucking gone. There's never going to be proof. You just have fucking people saying stories. But I've been around and I've seen him watch porn with minors. I have seen him fucking talk to minors on Sonic Amino. These are things that I can confirm myself, and these are things that I've told him not to do behind the scenes. He's never going to learn from his actions. He is never going to become a better person. He is never going to mean any fucking apology that he fucking throws out there. There's really nothing any of us can do. If we call out his Discord servers, he's going to delete them and make new ones. The last time I called out his Discord server, he deleted it and made a new one. There's really nothing you can do but stay away from him. And that's all I have to say at the end of the day. If you are someone in the Sonic community who is underage, don't join his server. If you are someone in the Sonic community who gets hit up by Jesse Pajamas or fucking Run the Hedgehog or Duck the Duck or any of his other multiple fucking Sonic Amino accounts, don't answer him. Don't let this weirdo talk to you or other people that you know that are underage. If you see him doing that, or if he does that to you, screenshot it and call him out. Because I'm tired of this shit getting brushed under the fucking rug. I'm tired of Jesse continuing to get away with this shit. I'm tired of the fact that he continues to do this shit. And he just gets away with it. Over and over and over again. I guess that's all I'm gonna say, though. I guess that's all I'm gonna fucking say. If you are in his Discord server, you know that he does this stuff. If you are close to Jesse, you know that he's done this. I can get interviews if I have to. I can try to reach out to Candy. I can reach out to Jill. We all know it. We all know who Jesse is. We all know what he does. We all know that he was a fucking creep. And I want to say now that I'm sorry for not coming out beforehand and talking about this. I'm sorry that I put the audience's wants above what should have been done. I'm sorry that I was afraid to call out Jesse Pajamas. And I'm sorry that I continued to think that he would improve. To continue to think that he would become a better person. It's never going to happen. And I've let this go on for far too long. And I let my own complacency get in the way of calling out something that's fucked up. I've known for 2 years now that Jesse was like this. And all I did was scold him behind the scenes and told him not to do it, instead of exposing him like I should have. And for that, I'm going to have to really think about all this. I'm going to have to take a few days off YouTube and just really contemplate everything that I've done and everything that I've ignored. So, hopefully you guys have learned something from this. Hopefully there's something to be learned from this. Like I said before, I'm not going to get rid of this. And I know that a lot of people are going to start shit with me now. And I know a lot of people are going to storm my Kiwi farms and call me God knows what. They're already saying I'm a 30-year-old man talking to children. They're literally saying I'm Jesse on my fucking Kiwi farms because these are Jesse's people. I know they're going to continue to start shit because of this video. And I know that they're going to continue to harass the people I know. But at this point, I'm done ignoring it. I'm done not calling it out. I'm done fucking sitting back and letting this shit happen. All I can say at the end of this video is fuck you, Jesse Pajamas. Fuck you and fuck everyone that enables this giant fucking child.